Good morning, dear students. Now we are going to study the next topics of our chapter, metals and non-metals. We are studying about the different physical properties of metals and non-metals. And in this section, we will study two properties, that is heat conduction and electrical conduction. To understand heat conduction, we'll do an activity. In this activity, we need 3 spoons of different materials. One is of plastic, the other one is of metal, and the third one is of wood. Now we have to arrange these 3 spoons in a bowl like this in the second picture. And at the tip of each spoon, we have to put a very little amount of butter using a knife. Then in this bowl in which we have kept all the 3 spoons, we have to fill this bowl with hot water. So in the next picture you can see that the bowl is getting filled with hot water. After putting hot water, after a few minutes you will observe that the butter which was kept at the tip of the metal spoon, it has started melting, whereas the butter in the wooden spoon as well as in the plastic spoon has not. This shows the property of heat conduction. It proves that metal can conduct heat. It has become hot and it resulted into the melting of butter. According to conductivity of heat, materials can be good conductors or bad conductors. Metals are good conductors of heat, whereas non-metals are not good conductors, but they are bad conductors of heat. This is the reason why the bottoms of the cooking vessels are often made of copper, which is a metal, whereas the handles of the metal cooking vessels are made of insulators like wood, bamboo, bakelite. Why? Because these materials heat slowly and so are easy to hold even when the vessel is very hot. We have studied electrical circuits in our previous class. So we will use the concept of electric circuit to test whether electricity can pass through a substance or not. And for this activity, what is to be done is take a cell, a small torch bulb, and some samples of materials which we have to test through which electricity can pass or not. These samples can be an iron nail, a piece of wood, a plastic pen, eraser, etc. Now we have to connect one by one the samples of the materials between the open ends of the wire. And on joining the wires with the samples, we have to notice whether the bulb glows or not. So after joining these samples with the open ends of the wire, you will notice that when we have attached an iron nail to the wire, the bulb glows. While putting wood, plastic pen, rubber eraser, the bulb does not glow. So this proves that metals can conduct electricity through them. According to electrical conductivity, the materials can be conductors or insulators. Conductors are the materials which allow electric current to flow through them, whereas insulators are the materials that do not allow electric current to flow through them. Metals are very good example of conductors, whereas non-metals are insulators. Silver and copper, they are very good conductors of electricity. And since copper is relatively cheap, It is widely used for making electrical wires and connectors. Whereas bakelite is a non-metal, which does not allow electricity to pass through it, and therefore it acts as an insulator. The bakelite covering on the electrical wires therefore protects people from getting electric shocks. So in this section we have seen the two important properties of metals and non-metals, that is heat conduction and electricity conduction. We are left with a few more properties. We will study about them in our next class. Thank you.